let's get into the James Holmes case. The defense tried to unsuccessful get a mistrial again the other day, right?
Yes, they did, because they say that the prosecution elicited some not elicited. The prosecution presented on a videotaped psychiatric evaluation from 2014. 22 hours the jury saw, but a few portions were redacted, and a portion should not have been shown, and that the prosecution was using the psychiatrist offensively instead of as a rebuttal witness. Well, they were. They put this witness on before the defense put on their insanity defense, but I guess it was, the defense didn't object, and maybe that's the way they do it in Colorado, and the judge was like, too late now. And the judge seemed to be a little bit put off by resurrecting this motion again, but they
there
didn't prevail.
There is a different burden there, right? It's not like like the usual burden.
No, there is a difference, and that's a good question.
Right?
There is a difference, and it is very state to state how defenses like this are proven or disproven. Here, as soon as the defense in Colorado, as soon as the defense of insanity is raised, the burden is on the prosecution to prove sanity beyond a reasonable doubt. Sometimes the burden is on the defense to prove insanity, and they don't have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. They got to prove it by a lower standard. But it can be rebutted. Here it's a presumption of insanity because they've raised it. That has to be rebutted by proof of sanity beyond a reasonable doubt. But I've never seen an insanity case where the state's evidence comes in what's called their case in chief, their initial case. Usually they put on the evidence as they did, and of the uncontested stuff, all the charges. He's saying I did it. Just don't convict me because I'm sick in the head, but I did it.
Right.
And then the defense puts on their psychiatric witnesses, and then the state rebuts it. But here they front-loaded it with the psychiatric evidence, which was just a first for me.
What is your take on the judge? He's very loud. I could see him in the courtroom. He's got a lot of control. Just that's me seeing it from afar, but you've been into it more. What's your opinion on the judge?
Carlos Samor, his father was a judge in his home, his native land of El Salvador. Judge Samor is, I think, a great jurist. He is a tough judge. He is extremely punctual. He is very cognizant of the time jurors are giving of their lives to sit in this case. He does not waste a juror's time. And he told them that it was going to be September, October. Now it's August or September to finish the case. Depending on what the verdict is, there might be a penalty phase, right? And so that would extend it. Mm-hmm. But the state had said they needed 2 months and the defense 1 month. And the judge said to the state, well, you're getting your 8 weeks, and I'm holding you to it because you should be able to try this case in 8 weeks. I'm thinking, wow. Why can't more judges say that? Because they let these lawyers try these cases that go on for months and months and months, and Samora is like, I'm holding you to it. You said 2 months. That's all you're getting.
Yes. Now, we saw some heartbreaking testimony. I saw one young man talk about it, and he was crying about, that he wanted to basically call his favorite person his mother. What is one thing that you saw of testimony that really stood out to you?
Of the victims?
Yes.
Oh, I think all of them, anybody who got shot, I don't care if it was a pellet, a buckshot, that didn't do any lasting damage but left a scar. It's terror. It's just terror. Terror to be shot at like that in a theater, and you don't know, where it's coming from or how many shots.
He didn't want to go so hard on the children?
The child. Oh my gosh, the child. Veronica Mosier Sullivan, who was 6. I think that is heartbreaking. But
oh my.
To hear about any of the deceased, the 12 of them, is just I've shed tears in this case. But it was the beginning, the powerful first day of testimony, which was day 2 of the trial, blew me away. We first
Really?
heard from, oh my God, it was a husband and wife, and the wife was first, and she was okay, right? She was 9 months pregnant. They chose a seat not far from the exit door because she was 9 months pregnant. What if she went into labor? So they wanted to make a quick escape. And her husband was a up-and-coming comedian. He had performed the night before in Denver, and he got shot in the head. He lived. He was the second witness, but she thought he was dead, and she spoke to him as he was shot in the head, saying, "I got to get out of here. I got to try to save basically what's left of you, in my belly." And so she left him, but he squeezed her hand, so she knew he had heard her. And the baby is now almost 3, and the baby was born and is healthy. But he came in a wheelchair with a big alphabet board, with a woman next to him who would read what he spelled out because he can't really speak anymore. He's very severely brain damaged, but he can understand questions. He just can't speak. His speech has been affected by the shot in the head. And he
Is that why prosecutors brought him out there? Maybe the sympathy factor?
Yes, and I thought, oh my God, if this is what this trial is going to be like, I can't watch this. It was a kick in the gut because it was so, we heard about it, but we weren't touched by the lives of these people. We're far away. We're over here. We're not to see them and to hear her describe the terror and the baby, and then to see him come in a wheelchair. We haven't heard also from Veronica Mosier Sullivan's mother yet, but she is in a wheelchair now. She was pregnant. She lost the fetus. She lost her 6-year-old daughter, and she can never have a baby again, and she can't walk.
Oh my!
So
oh my!
That's to come still. They must be leaving her for the end.